Okay, so I am not gonna do any intros. This is the second part of the video. I finished the recording yesterday. That's the next day, obviously. And yes, I'm again eating chocolate here. I think that's the opposite. That's back into dark chocolate. But I was very sleepy to continue translating what I said in Greek, so I said I would put that video, the last 20 minutes of it, into the next part today. So today I'm playing the rest of it as if I never stopped playing. That's the point. That's the plan. Um, I have my coffee until the. It's like the cup of Christmas cheer. That's what it says. It's one cup that I like to use because um like it's very thick and it keeps the coffee hot for more moments than usually in another cup. That's what it means, what I'm saying. um Saga, why aren't you doing an intro? Because you are watching the same video, and that's not the beginning of the video. That's the beginning of the video for me, not for you. So that's why I'm not doing an intro. It's pointless in the middle of the video to say hi. That's what I mean. So let's go back. Don't remember how I had it yesterday. I remember I was cursing a lot that guy because he was being very disrespectful to my dad. And so today my father asked me, to do a video where I will tell you some of the good moments I have with him. But before I will do that, I just thought that this video is like um am I missing anything here? No. So as I can see here, the enter the Krusty Krab I have here, like as you can see here. Oops, wrong. As you can see, it's the same part that I was yesterday and I was editing. So I will start saying again what I was saying yesterday about that guy in English, so I don't have to translate in Greek. Give me a second. I will see. I will edit this part out, obviously. I will see what I did in the video, and I will continue saying what I said but in English as I am here, and then we will continue the game as usual. Okay. Okay, so I saw what I was saying. I can continue speaking from here. Oh, I have to gather everything. I will save the video that I did yesterday, but it will be easier for me to speak in English what I said instead of translate. Why did I die? Doesn't make any sense. Okay, I mustn't touch this. Not even once. Okay. Okay, so what I was saying and what the video was saying was that the guy said to the girl from the video yesterday that I was talking in English, in Greek, not in English, that she had to choose between God and between the world, and that guy was obviously from the world and he wasn't gonna pick God because he was adamant that he didn't want God. And even though people were saying you have to stay with him, and I explained why the guy, um, the preacher, that's what I mean, he wasn't saying truthful things, he was saying lies. Like, you wouldn't expect any Christian to say stay with your non-Christian partner. Christians are very Puritan driven with a bad manner. I am also a Puritan, but in the correct sense, not in the wrong terms, and this is the very wrong way of being a Puritan, saying somebody to divorce or separate from their partner because of their beliefs. That's not yours to decide. That has to be done by God and has to be a specific reason. And for example, my father is saying that you have to do something and you are not obeying him, and that's a valid reason for him to say, okay, I'm moving on now with my daughter, you don't want to listen. That's a valid reason because it has to do with disobedience. I am in obedience, you are not. That's valid reason. You are obviously not with me, you don't show any evidence you wanna be with me, and my father is putting up with you at this point. That's what I'm trying to say. So the other guy wanted to be with a woman. The woman just wanted to be a Christian. He didn't want to, but he had no problem being with her, even though she was a Christian. So that proves that what they were saying, like stay with him, if they said that, I don't believe they did. I believe he was lying all along, the preacher, about these people. If this is true though, then it's very very accurate. That's what I'm trying to say. So apart from that, now I'm speaking about what he was saying, that this is not the voice of God. Yes, it is the voice of God, because if you say, like my father, like God said that I have to stay with a person who is not in my faith. Apostle Paul said that if you have an unbelieving husband and the wife remains and she's believing, she's a Christian, then he will be sanctified by her faith. That has to do with the character building that you do as a wife of a non-Christian believer. That's not something to discuss here. That's something that me and women have to do. It's not what usually you expect to do, like being like in the kitchen. It's not about that. It's about perseverance, about love, it's about many things. But it's not here. This is not the point. That's not the point of the discussion. The point of the discussion here is that when you have an unbelieving husband, you are expected to stay with him, not divorce him or separate with him and whatever. And he said that God told him, a middle-aged dude, about what sexual affairs has a woman of my age is expected to have. Sorry, and that's completely ridiculous because that's creepy from all aspects. Like, even from the secular aspect, if I tell an atheist, if I say Richard Dawkins, for example, if I tell him, Richard, like, there is a dude in Greece that claims that God told him that a woman of my age has to separate from her boyfriend, Richard Dawkins, he will say 100%, like, even if this is the case, like, even if there is a God that exists and talks to people, why on earth would he say a middle-aged dude about the sexual affairs of another woman who is your age? Like, that's creepy. And why would he be nosy about such stuff like the sexual affairs of a woman of your age? Like, can you imagine how crazy this is for a person who is not a believer? I say Richard Dawkins, maybe Richard Dawkins watches this video by accident one day. He will agree with me, like he will say, what type of crap is this? Like, even Christians agree with that. What I'm explaining is that this shows my father in a very bad manner. He gives my father a very bad name because he appears like a very noisy person, I can't even pronounce that, who is interfering in their mortal people's affairs and how they will be like with the partners and how they will be with the like I suppose everyday life, their common life, their like their routines, pretty much. That's what I'm saying. Okay, and that gives a bad name to God. Like a person like Richard Dawkins is gonna say, like, doesn't your God have anything better to do? Like take care of a person who is dying by a disease like cancer or anything. Take care of a person with Down syndrome or bullying or wars that happen and people are dying, like everything that happens in the Gaza territory, or like the Ukraine war. And I'm saying all this stuff obviously that these are important matters that we should matter to any deity, not only about my father. Like, I'm just trying to go into the mind of an atheist and say, how would they evaluate like everything around them? They would think that any deity, not only my father, I'm not speaking here about correct theology, I'm just going into the head of an atheist and an agnostic. They would say that I wanna see a God that actually cares about the world, like what happens, like even if the deities exist, they have to care about us, right? About the things that matter, about serious problems, wars, and bullying and everything like that, like diseases, like find cures for cancer, not having cancer, have answers why people have died from cancer, why people die in childbirth, why there are stillborn kids, why pregnant women lose their lives, why women become pregnant even if they don't want to become pregnant. Like, these are important stuff, right? And then you hear a middle-aged dude saying, God told me this girl should separate from her boyfriend because she lives in sin. Like, this is clownish behavior. That's what I'm saying. This is absolute clownish behavior. That's circusy. And I'm not claiming that I have answers for everything. If you are Richard Dawkins, I'm taking again this dude, okay? I admire him very much. Like, okay, if you hear me ever, I think you are arrogant. I'm not saying that to bash anybody, but I think you are arrogant. Um, in any case, I'm going past this. Um, let's ignore that. I mean, um, let's think for a moment that, let's say that God exists, right? Um, and that he talks to me, because I say all the time in my channel like he's my best friend and I am his best friend. Obviously, I can't prove to you that he's my best friend, but anyways, like it's not my topic to convince you. It's not my issue to convince you either. I know where I live, and I'm never gonna say anybody, if you don't believe me, you will go to hell. The person that I say is my best friend has never told me that he has a hell. He actually has told me he doesn't have a hell, and that's something that the devil says. That's what he has told me. That's up to you to receive or not. But as I said, he's my best friend, and he's not like my tyrant, or like like I don't know, like my boss, pretty much. He calls me best friend, I call him best friend. I have no issue to prove to you, and he's not gonna punish you if you don't believe it. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, that's how it works. It's not We are not a cult. That's pretty much it. It's just a friendship. And if you are Richard Dawkins and you are listening to me right now, I would say to you that, like, I don't have all the answers of the world's problems. Usually, when I ask my dad, who is my best friend, and as I said, he also calls me best friend. He says that I had Abraham, now I have you, right? When I ask him why you do this, why you permit this, usually he doesn't reply, and when he does, he usually says that he's very sorry, and that means that he pities what happens in the world. He feels sorry. Helga, does this mean that he causes these problems? No, no, he never says that. He never causes bad things to happen to you. That's something that has to do with sin. Yeah, obviously you listen that many times, but when we say that me and him, we don't mean that you are a bad person, you have something bad happen to you. It's because this is a fallen world and you're gonna have shit happen to you regardless. And read the Bible, when he was a person in this earth, even God, he suffered. Like whether you believe or not, that's not about believing in it, right? What I'm saying is that even God himself didn't spare himself from sadness. That's what I'm saying. We are also sad, and he was also sad like us. Like if you have to accept that he's the biblical authors wrote that he is the same person as the Old Testament deity. Yes, he suffered like all of us, and that proves that he didn't separate himself from the world. He actually experienced the pain that we experience, and that proves that sin is not something we cause ourselves to happen. The consequences. I mean, like the consequences happen because this is a fallen world, not because my father chooses. And I'm not gonna speak about divine will here and all that crap because sin shouldn't enter in the world first place. You have to suffer the consequences. It's not about my father's divine will here. My father can't say, okay, shit won't happen because you permitted sin to enter the world in first place. Yes, you are irresponsible personally, but you have also to accept that you live in a fallen world. It works both ways. That's why I say I speak like Richard Dawkins is listening to me. That's why I say Richard Dawkins is arrogant because you can't understand that this world is fallen and shit will happen to everybody, whether you are rich, whether you are poor, whether you are big, whether you are small, shit happens. And that's why God suffered too, so that he shows us that suffering is for everybody, it's not only for us. He sympathizes with our suffering. That's what I mean, right? So if I'm speaking about my dad, I don't have the answer for everything. He doesn't answer to me about that crap, and that's not proof that I don't speak with him. Usually he says that I shouldn't matter my small head with all that stuff, right? He tells me that that's too big for me. I shouldn't try to save the entire world because I'm just a person, I'm not a deity. This is what he tells me. He tells me that everything is gonna be okay and I shouldn't worry that much because I can't save everybody. I shouldn't wake up and think about all the bad stuff that happen in the world. I should try to be happy and change myself what I can change. For example, if I can make a person smile today, I should do that and not make them upset. If I can give my position in a bus to another person and that will make them happy, I should do that and not think about everything because not everything is under my control, everything is under his control. And the only thing he had told me about the Ukrainian war, if anybody is interested, I had asked him, why do you permit this to happen? And he had told me, are you okay if you know that that was to happen and those people don't die in vain? And actually I get teary as I say it. He said, are you satisfied to know that this was meant to happen? It didn't happen by accident, and the people that die from all sides are not dying in vain. They are coming to me. And I said, I am, I suppose, because you say that everything is gonna be okay, but why do you permit, why don't you cause anybody to die? Like, I'm not gonna say about specific people, but I mean, if somebody causes the war, why don't you permit this person to die? And he said that he's long suffering and he wants every person to repent and he doesn't want to compromise that because a bad person is doing bad things to be like, okay, I throw them a thunderbolt and I end their life here. I want them to take time, reflect, and decide to repent themselves, not take them and make them an example. This is his last resort, and even when the Hebrews were in Egypt, he took 400 years to act, and when he acted, he took 10 plagues to strike Pharaoh. He didn't strike immediately, and this matters because if that was in Greek paganism, Zeus and the Olympian gods, because they have become deities, seriously, idols. They are icons in the modern era, and that's crazy. I don't know who would like to have Zeus and the Olympians as their deities. Um, the people that had Zeus as a deity could have any plague. For example, in Iliad, Apollo struck the Greeks with a plague. That was like a disease, probably something like the plague, like the Black Death, right? Something like that. We are not sure because it's very poetic in the epic, so I don't really know. Probably something like the Black Death, a literal plague by the god of the plagues and light, which is Apollo. He's also the god of music, but that's another point. And yeah, Apollo had an issue with the king of the Greeks. He wanted him to return his slave girl to her father. Her father, Chrysis, was the priest of Apollo, and he had asked Apollo, "I want my daughter back." And Apollo, without any warning, without any explanation, without any like anything beforehand, you didn't know what happens. He just struck the Greeks with a disease that was killing them, and the Greeks didn't know what is going on. They didn't know what deity is doing that, why is being done that to them, why they are being killed, why they suffer, why they went to Troy. Did they go to Troy to die by the disease? They didn't have any answer in any of their questions. They were answered their questions when Chrysis himself said, "I asked from Apollo to strike you because you have my daughter," and then they had their question solved. And then Agamemnon, the king, was chased in the entire Iliad. You can read that in the Iliad. He's chased around by Zeus. Zeus tries to kill him throughout the Iliad epic. And even though he asks many times, and oracles and other people, what is wrong with Zeus, why he's trying to kill him, he doesn't understand. He knows that Zeus is actively trying to kill him. He's just trying to understand why. He never takes an answer by anybody, and Zeus never responds to him. Yes, you end reading the Iliad and you know that Agamemnon never took actually answer for that. Why this matters? Because my father in Egypt gave time to Pharaoh and the Egyptians to let his people go. He told them, "Look, these are slaves. What you're doing is very bad in my eyes. I want them to live. I want them to worship me in their mountain, in their country." Where's SpongeBob going? I want them to be free. I want them to go back to their own native land. And Pharaoh refused to acknowledge Yahweh. He refused to obey. He knew that a deity is talking to him. He knew, like, this is Yahweh, this is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. These people are the patriarchs of the Hebrews. You are talking with the Spirit. He knew all that. And if you are making the question, like, how did he know he was talking with the Spirit? Pharaoh was talking with spirits. He had the magi, what's that called? He had the mystics around him. He had like the people who did the tricks. His people who produced tricks and did spells. Like, this was the culture. He knew how it is to be surrounded by a spirit who is talking to you. He knew that somebody is talking to him. And even if you don't accept that, because this is something you have to accept, like, there are people actually there who talk with spirits. I have done it. He was doing that, you know. Even if you can't accept that and you think we are crazy, okay, whatever, you have to accept that this was part of our culture in Mediterranean / Middle Eastern places. We were talking with spirits, at least we claimed to talk with spirits. He was surrounded not by secular advisors but with people who were talking with spirits and were making a living out of doing astrology, occult, like philosophy and stuff like that. And this involves spiritual training, deity work, speaking with a literal spirit, a person you can't see but you listen to their voice because you are trained to do that. Okay, you do that when you are involved in the cult and you learn to do occult stuff, and this is what they were doing. So he knew he was talking with the spirit, regardless of how my father talks and how other spirits talk, because there is a distinction. My father doesn't talk exactly how the demons are speaking, but that's not the point here to discuss. The point is that he was talking with the spirit and he could understand that there is a spirit talking to him and not a human person. And he refused to acknowledge because the spirit said, I'm not the God of Egypt, I'm the God of the Hebrews. Okay? He refused and he was given 9 chances. 9 fucking chances to repent, go back and receive, like, not only the true God of the universe but also make amends with his past and with the people that he had enslaved, and he refused. You can't say that my dad is the same person as the gods of the Iliad, because the gods of the Iliad didn't give any warning for the plagues. They never acknowledged that there is an issue here, I want you to solve this, I have an issue here because this shouldn't be done, I have a problem with slavery, you shouldn't enslave a woman. There is not such a thing there. The Bible makes it crystal clear, I don't want slaves, you will let these people go, they will worship me. There's nothing like that in the Iliad, right? So you can't say my father is the same as the other deities. That's what I'm saying. And he was given time and time and time. Apollo didn't wait for time. Zeus didn't wait for some time. They just striked lightnings, plagues, death, threats without any explanation what's being wrong, and people were confused what's actually going wrong with their lives. And the Greeks knew that their gods act like that. They are unpredictable and they don't explain their shit. They're not saying to you what is wrong with you. Yahweh is explaining this is wrong, you have to fix that. If you don't, that's okay, but you're gonna have consequences for your behavior. That's what I'm saying, bestie. So what I'm saying here is that people like that preacher are putting my father and the demons in the same basket and they say that they are the same thing. No, they are not the same thing. My father doesn't behave like a demon. And he said that that girl had to divorce with her or separate or whatever with her boyfriend because this was not God's will. God will never tell a random dude who is twice your age what is gonna do, what is gonna happen in your relationship, which is a relationship between two consensual consensual adults, 20 years old, and that guy was 50. The girl and her boyfriend were in their 20s. That's disgusting. And I think we should all agree here, even if you don't believe in God, even if you don't believe that spirits can talk to you, even if you believe that we are lunatics to say that we speak with spirits and we have them as friends and guardians, you have to acknowledge that this is bullshit, that no deity, nor even a demon, because if you ask me, Helga, you have spoken with a demon, you claim. Would any demon ever tell any person that Maria and John have a relationship and they should? No, bestie, no. The demons would never do such a discussion, because even for them, some discussions are prohibited, and the demons want you to be sexually pure. That's not something that my dad recommends. That's not something that my dad demands you to be, commands you to do. That's not something that comes from my father. But even the demons don't expect the demons to come to you and say Maria and Stephen are in a relationship. They shouldn't, because the demons want you to be sexually pure and they wouldn't want you to involve your head in sexually impure thoughts, like imagining Stephen and Maria being in a relationship and that they shouldn't be. They wouldn't even talk to you about that. They don't talk to you about such stuff. They talk to you about their nature, how to worship them, how to be a better person in their eyes, not about what others are doing. They are very strict, they are very Puritan in nature. Don't believe such crap, that's all I'm gonna say, bestie. And that preacher, he's a false prophet because he spoke primarily from Zeus. He was speaking in the name of my father, using the mouth of the devil, and at the same time, he used human understanding of spirituality, and he said his emotions are what God says, and that's very disgusting because he was saying in the entire video that we turn our emotions to a speech of God, and he was projecting what he is doing with his own speech, and that's absolutely disgusting. And yeah, so even if Richard Dawkins was very interested into watching me playing SpongeBob Cosmic Shake, the Battle of the Krusty Krab, or whatever, let's continue.
It's not what it looks like. It forces me to take best friends pictures.
Oh, don't worry, buddy. Help has arrived. I'm your biggest fan in the whole world. Could you please give me a thumbs up?
Anything for a fan.
Well, in that case, how about letting Patrick go?
No. Ever since you threw Bikini Bottom into utter cosmic chaos, all visitors have vanished from this once beautiful oasis of fun. And with them, their adoration for me. Do you know what becomes of a glove without love?
I'm gonna go with G.
Glove.
Stop smothering him. It's time I realized even the best glove can be cold. I won't let that happen to you, Glovey Glove. Hold on, Patrick. I'm coming.
Show that glove who's boss, SpongeBob.
Okay. So my father was telling me to say what are my favorite things, favorite memories with him.
Sorry, nothing personal.
I like when I am upset and he starts telling me
This guy's really over the top.
the Grim Reaper stories. I think they are the best thing in the world when he says Grim Reaper stories.
You must be this tall. Patrick.
So thank you. Order up. No more cheating.
Okay, I hit it. I'm gonna eat more.
SpongeBob, he's so creepy.
Let's close up. So I like when he says the Grim Reaper stories, as I was saying, because he makes me laugh.
Hang in there, buddy. I'm feeling better already.
Keep your arms and legs inside the net, Patrick.
He is a very funny guy. He always makes fun stories in his head. Even if you don't expect him to be able to do something funny, he's always funny.
These guys.
When he had explained to me that like numerology is not how you talk to him, something I didn't know. He told me, Helga, write a, create a triangle in your paper, and I said, okay, Dad. I was like, what is he gonna say again? I was sure he was gonna say something crazy.
Go long.
And he did. He told me,
What if we share, Patrick? He can be your best friend on the weekends.
I can share once I got my big giant hand on something I want.
oh my god, she killed me.
Just go home, Square Dash.
Don't listen to the scary hands, White Rob.
I'm feeling better already. Ew! That should cover my bugs.
I don't know what I have to do. So he had told me to make a triangle in my paper. He said, Helga, make a triangle. And I said, why? And he said, you will see. And I made the triangle. And he said, hold on.
Go long.
Okay. So I made a triangle and he said you will put the right angle on the bottom.
Patrick!
That's 90 degrees. And I said okay, and he said the top corner you will name her, he said her, not
Can't reach me.
I don't know what I have to do. Okay, he said you're not gonna name it A or B,
I admire you, Glumpy Glove, but you leave me no choice.
you will name it how did you call father, and I said father, okay, and then he said the bottom
Get along.
you will name it Holy Spirit. And I said, what the heck? That's crazy. And he said, this is. Oh, okay, I died. This is. He said the hypotenusa. Hypotenusa is the angle, the line that connects the two corners that are not
Blink.
the right angle. If that makes sense. It's the biggest side of the triangle, the right angled triangle. And he said.
Blink. Catch.
He said that the Holy Spirit is the down corner and the corner of the upper part is called Father, and I said why are we doing that, and he said the upper part is Father because he's the top of the triangle. The Holy Spirit proceeds from the Father, so it's hypotenusa, the bigger part of the triangle, and he said the right angle is the right angle is Jesus. Sorry, oh my God. The right angle is Jesus because he's the correct faith, and I laughed so much. And if you're like, Helga, why is this funny? Because he said that the upper corner is and him, like both all corners, but he used sacred geometry to mock sacred geometry. Like he beat like all this bullshit in his own territory, and that was priceless for me. And he said that
Glubby, you have to get Patrick back.
I don't have to do anything for you. You can't reach me.
also,
It's just hard to see your childhood heroes hit rock bottom.
Don't worry, Patrick. I have something with me that can cheer up our friend.
A Squidward action figure?
Even better. You have a world of friends.
You're right. I have a world of friends. They all adore my fixed smile and my haunting blank stare. Thank you.
I always knew you'd come for me, SpongeBob.
I will never leave you out of my sight ever again, Patrick. You're my best friend ever. Don't worry, Glovey Glove. I'll get Bikini Bottom back to normal and get lots of visitors back into Glove World to love you just like we do.
SpongeBob?
David Glove. Okay, so he became good. And I laughed because he beat like geometry, sacred geometry in his own place, and I like that, and that made me feel free because I don't like sacred geometry. I don't like geometry. They were pressuring us very much in Greece with the mathematics, and I didn't like them. I prefer literature and poetry and stuff like that, I suppose. Yeah, and that made me feel very pressured, very underappreciated, and I just didn't like it. That's all.
Freeze, you toxic yellow polluter! We've gotten reports from multiple sources with the same megalomaniacal voice that you are responsible for all this trash around the Krusty Krab and the Chum Bucket.
Okay.
You either pick it up or you pick jail.
Whoa! I don't know where all this trash came from, but I do love to pick things up. Plus, it'll give me a chance to work with Bikini Bottom's finest, the Garbage Men. Sign me up!
Oh my god, I have to do that with time. Okay, I have to. Okay, collect.
Is there anything that shouldn't be recycled?
Old jokes?
Oh fuck. I think I will need a second round. Fuck. What the heck? Oh, Okay, I understood. Okay, some things are here like this, and some other stuff like this is for here.
It feels good to clean up the ocean.
Who would leave all this trash around here?
Okay, let's wait. We'll do that again.
Freeze, you toxic yellow polluter! We've gotten reports from multiple sources with the same megalomaniacal voice that you are responsible for all this trash around the Krusty Krab and the Chum Bucket. You either pick it up, or you...
Whoa! I don't know where all this trash came.
Okay, let's start again. Okay, so let's take the boxes first. So it's one. Oops. Oops, 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 oops. 1, 2, 3. Oops. I think I finished.
All
Okay.
clear! Time to take this trash where it belongs.
We sure did a lot today. It's been fun. See you later.
Wait, Patrick. Shouldn't we bring the garbage jelly to Cassandra so she can fix all this chaos?
Oh, yeah. Attention.
Okay, I have to make Krabby Patties. I suppose I will have to fight Cassandra. Almost done.
So hungry. Need.
Okay, I need to talk to Cassandra, and I don't know where she is. Okay, there it is. Okay, do I have to talk with him?
Larry's glad to be back in Bikini Bottom, where everyone loves him.
Hope this is better. Let's take the horse and go back to Cassandra. Oh,
SpongeBob SquarePants, this time you took things too far.
Well, well, well. His Royal Highness finally decided to show up.
This snail oil saleswoman broke into my royal bath time chamber and stole my bubble soap. She never posed any real danger until your can-do attitude enabled her. Do you have any idea how much power she'll wield once she has enough jelly?
oh my god.
Silence! I am now the queen of the ocean, and with the power of the cosmic jelly, I will reshape the seas according to my wishes.
SpongeBob, I have tolerated your annoying little slip-ups for years now, but I have had it. because of you. I have been kidnapped, I had to relearn to speak, and my toilet is clogged with jelly. Enough is enough. You know what? It's not that bad. I'll just get the plunger.
You're going nowhere, my delicious little rage muffin. You'll have the perfect attitude to be my new pet.
Oh my, now we have the boss battle.
This is it, Patrick. My wishes may have shaken up the world, but the Thunder's the one who's gone out of control. It's time to stop it for good and save our friends once and for all.
It'll look really cool while we do it.
Oh,
I knew I could count on you, Patrick. Patrick, stay close to me.
Over there, SpongeBob.
Pathetic. That actually worked! Mind the giant paper tentacles!
And Squidward woke up on the wrong side of the rock.
I'm feeling better already.
so yeah, I told you one of the things that I've been.
There's something shiny down there.
Oh, it's you. You'll have to dodge faster than that.
Fuck, we
I
died.
knew I could count on you, Patrick.
Oh, it's you.
No, boy.
Oh, it's you. Pathetic. Weakling! How dare you! Bikini Bottom deserves nothing less than destruction.
Oh, they're gonna ruin everything if we don't stop them.
Squidward is extra grumpy today.
Ouch. I need underwear.
The Krusty Krab pizza is the pizza. I'm feeling.
Fuck. I don't know how how to play honestly. Very difficult.
Me, especially you two.
Patrick, stay close to me.
Over there, SpongeBob.
I'm feeling better already.
Okay, we won. So yeah, as I was saying, did we finish the game yet? I have a lot of good memories with my dad. Usually they are more funniest part, like when I am very down and when I am crying and I say they left me and I don't know, like I wanna die or whatever. And my dad is like, I have a funny story to tell you, and he starts saying his funny stories, and that's the best thing I remember from my dad. Like if you ask me now what you remember from your dad, that's the best memory I have from my dad. When he says funny stories about the Reaper.
Oh, Squidward, I'm so glad you're back to normal.
Yeah, what happened? And why does my mouth taste like jelly? I have to hand it to you, SpongeBob. Your quirky approach did what the Royal Guard failed to do. You apprehended Madame Cassandra. Of course, you also empowered her to nearly destroy us all. But that's jelly under the bridge now. As a reward for your outstanding bravery, I shall grant you one final wish. So make it count.
After today, there's only one thing I can wish for, and that is...
That was fun. I wish we could do it all over again.
He wished that. There's chaos again. So we saved Bikini Bottom, but now we have to finish all the. The song of Band Jigs.
It's the thrill of one more kill, the last one to fall. Who never sacrifice their will. Don't ever look back on the world closing in. Be on the attack with your wings on the wind. All the things will begin. And it's sweet, sweet, sweet victory. Welcome to Bikini Bottom, tiny new citizens.
So this is the song Band Jigs. It's when Squidward wins over his. Like I'm gonna cry. When the song ends, I will tell the story about my dad. Yeah, I had to do with my dad.
Sail on, jolly golly, sail on.
is you're doing for a Bikini Bottom News special report. Bikini Bottom is in disarray. Innocent citizens and beloved landmarks have disappeared into strange magical portals. Notorious residents SpongeBob and Patrick are on the case. Will our heroes brave the many dangers of the fantastical wish worlds? Will they rescue their friends and bring them home safely? Will fancy moves and even fancier costumes prevail? Can transformation save the nation? And will the chum bucket serve something edible for a change? Wait, was that last part really necessary? I repeat, this is a Bikini Bottom News special report. Anchors away, brave heroes. Bikini Bottom is counting on you.
It's close.
Ride the tide. Surf with birds.
That's another episode.
Kick it up a notch. Roll, roll, roll your rock. Avoid troubles with bubbles. Glide like an eagle ray. Float like a jellyfish. Sting like a jellyfish. Our top story tonight, SpongeBob and Patrick have saved Bikini Bottom once again. This after almost destroying Bikini Bottom once again. Celebrations are in order. Everybody do the cosmic shake. The citizens have spoken. But wait, there's more.
Many moments later.
Okay, so now that we will start. You said Bikini Bottom, thanks for you. Thanks to you. Everything's back to normal, or is it? The storyline is done, but there are still plenty to explore. Unlock all costumes. Complete all the awards. Replay the poses. Explore the Wish worlds. Wish. Yeah. Complete all the challenges. Check if Bikini Bottom citizens need your help. Thank you for playing the game. Okay. Fuck. So what we have to do here?
Uno lastima. Que no me haya matado.
Oh, Squidward's cough is getting worse. We should really bring him those refreshments.
Okay, so where are the refreshments of Squidward? Let's search. And where are Squidwards? With refreshments. So Okay. Okay, so they are all in the first world, which is the Wild West. Not this one. I'm not quite sure. Okay, let's go here better. Let's go here. Let's see. So now we will play a little bit here. Let's see if we can find his refreshments, because I'm talking about Squidward. I decided to pick up the challenge that has to do with him.
Our intrepid deputies return to the Wild West, only to find that life goes on even after corralling the red-handed bandits.
Order up!
What's that?
Y'all better find that juice, or I'll have to find a new job.
Okay. Okay, there is one here.
This'll stick to your gills.
On Path Ranch, a collector located on the ranch near Jeff Tentacles. After taking a slingshot to the cemetery, go up to the hill near the character Jeff Tentacles. I have no idea where these locations are. I will look a little bit, and then I will come as I will searching. Okay. Okay, then the other one is in the house. Okay, I think I have the other one too. Let's see. Let's put the here, and I will be searching. I think we will finish it today. I don't think it will take much to do. Okay, so as I was saying, this is connected to Squidward, who is my favorite SpongeBob character. And if you remember, back in the days, I had made a post saying that I'm playing SpongeBob Battle of the Bikini Bottom on my Switch, and I was feeling the vibe. That's what I was saying. And the reason I was playing the game and I was having good time with it was because my dad had said something specific about SpongeBob that had made me very happy. I was watching SpongeBob. I always watch SpongeBob. I don't have purchased the episodes online. I didn't wait for that. I have his episodes on my DVDs. I have them over 10 years now on DVDs. I also have them on cassettes, because I'm a very hardcore SpongeBob fan, and I always made sure to have the episodes on my record. I also had them on cassettes when I was very young, obviously. Yes, not all of us are born with technology in their hands like you and your country does. Some of us are very poor, but why would you even care? One day you asked me, don't you have your tablet? And I didn't have a tablet back then, for your info. But you asked me if I have a tablet, like, I don't know how to describe this behavior from you. But anyways, I'm not gonna speak about that more. So I was watching on my DVD some of the episodes. There was an episode from the most recent seasons. I'm not quite sure which one though. Where like Squidward was attacked by Sandy. She was beating him because he abused SpongeBob and his friends, and she wasn't putting up with that behavior. She punished him, she humiliated him, and he was humiliated in front of other people. I don't know, I don't remember exactly what happened, but he was on the wrong. But because he's my favorite character on the show, I was very upset, and I thought that the episode was crappish, and Squidward wouldn't really behave like that normally, and I thought that they are changing his character quite a lot lately, and that's not really his character because it's a more recent season and stuff like that. But really affected my mood, and I told my dad that I didn't really like the episode and if he can help me with that. And he said, as he always does, um, like, would you like to watch an episode with me? And I said, okay, no problem. And he he told me, would you like to watch an episode of SpongeBob with me tonight so you forget about this episode that you didn't enjoy? And I said, okay. And he said, how am I supposed to go up there? Is this a golden spatula? Yeah, that's a golden spatula. Um, so hold on a second to see if I can. Yeah, I think that's. Can I climb the stairs? No, no. How can I go up in that house? Okay, I climbed. Oopsie. He asked me then. Okay. Okay, so we have two. And the third one is. I'm not quite sure what the others are. So there are 5 of them. I will put a video to be watching so I can know exactly. So Squidward's refreshments. Okay, all locations. So as I was saying, my father told me to watch the episode with him, and I said okay, and then I asked him what episode would I watch with him. First refreshment is here, second refreshment is here, yeah, the third one. Okay, so it's in the third, the fourth. Okay. Okay, okay, makes sense now. So I pressed stop recording. He said those are soothing. If you were watching Patrick, I will try this. Those are soothing. This is what he said when the recording didn't capture him. He's trying to fix the camera. So he told me to watch the episode with him, and let's go back. And he asked me why I like Squidward. And I said I like him because he's an artist. I like him because he likes to cook, and he is a very, I don't know, like he's relatable. He likes to cook, he likes to do art, he likes to sing, he likes to um, draw stuff.
Oh, hello. I would say thank you, stranger.
Call me SpongeBob.
But for what? The damage is already done, and I'll never get this mess cleaned up in time for the ceremony.
Ceremony? Like a wedding or a birthday party?
Is there cake? Can we have some, please, Squidward?
Who the trench is Squidward? My name is Jeff Tentacles Jr., and it's not a party, mold brain. It's a commemoration for the late Billy the Bass, the last real cowboy. But look at this. This is a disaster.
Don't you worry, Jeff. Us cowboys always stick together.
Oh, please. If you two are cowboys, then I'm a saloon girl. If only two Samaritans could tidy up before the mourners arrive. Until then, I guess I'll have to keep this cemetery locked up.
Why don't we clean this mess up for you?
What a great idea you independently developed here. You go ahead. I'll be over there in the shade, relaxed, thinking about your cowboy needs. Whatever.
Okay, so clean the graveyard. I like that the theme is a little bit about graveyard.
Feeling better already? I've never seen a fish like this.
So he asked me if I like why I like Squidward. He said I get you like him, and I said yeah I do. He's an artist, and he likes to cook. He likes to draw. He likes to uh, sing. He likes to do music. He's dancing as well. He's an artist, and I couldn't finish my sentence. My father already said
A little dab.
you like him because he reminds you of yourself, doesn't he? And I was like, no. And I didn't think of it the entire day until night. I took my chips, my crisps, obviously, American UK English, and I sat to eat and watched the episode Banjiks. And the episode, uh, by and large, is about it's about what am I have to do here? I don't understand. Or kill these people, I suppose. Um,
I'm feeling better already.
okay, we cleaned the graveyard. Okay, where the fuck is Jeff?
Everything tidy? Great! Now get so I can take a nap before the mourners arrive.
Okay,
You're cutting into my nap time. Skedaddle already.
classic Squidward. Anyways, as I was saying to you, let's capture one picture here. The episode is about Squidward. He is practicing his clarinet, and he receives a phone call from his um, like his enemy from school, who is named Squilliam, the Fabulous, something like that. Squilliam the Beautiful. I'm not quite sure what is the name because um, like I have heard the name in Greek. In Greek, his name is Kalamariliam, which obviously translates as like a Squilliam. Calamari, like that's squid, right? The animal, right?
No, boys.
So his name is Calamarilliam, Squilliam, the handsome, the pretty, something like that. That guy was his enemy at high school.
Refreshments for our dear old Squidward.
Hey, there are a lot of cactuses around here. Those
So,
are soothing.
yeah, soothing. That's the quote I didn't catch the other day, the other time in the recording, just some minutes ago. So the the enemy tells Squidward that he will have like a band playing for him, something like that, and he said you're gonna lose, Squidward. I don't really remember off the top of my head the entire plot, but the plot, basically the whole thing was about Squidward losing again to Squilliam because Squilliam is successful in his life and Squidward isn't. That's the whole thing. Like that Squilliam did everything he wanted to do in his life, and Squidward failed, and he's like a cashier. Okay, now remember. Squidward said, I'm not a cashier to Squilliam. I am successful. I am a singer. I am an artist. I have done everything I wanted to do. And Squilliam challenged him. He said, I will come and watch the band playing, and if you don't fail, then I will admit that you are not a failure or something like that. And obviously Squidward was bluffing all along because he was a cashier, as you know from the story. He's not a successful artist, and he was feeling very badly about himself because he fooled himself with the telephone. He could have said the truth, but he decided to lie because he wanted to play cool to his
I'm feeling home on the range.
high school enemy. Let's put it that way. Okay, I took the double. And now it's the last refreshment. And so I told my dad when I was watching that, what are we watching? And he said, this is me because I want to become an artist and I feel like I have failed. And he said that Squidward asked for the entire Bikini Bottom to support him and take him to um, like to the concert and play for him, and become all of them become his students, his apprentices, and learn music from him. And this is where the epic quote called like is mayonnaise an instrument was born, because this is where Patrick is playing an instrument. He was asked what instrument to play, and he was wondering to Squidward if he can play a mayonnaise, and Squidward obviously told him mayonnaise is not an instrument, I don't know what you're talking about. And Patrick was devastated, but he was given an instrument like everybody else, like Plankton, Squidward, Harry even him, and Mr. Krabs, and everybody that came into the audition was hired because Squidward needed all of them to play for him music, and he went into a like a studio to teach all of them, like all the characters, yeah, like Mr. Spuff, like all the characters that you know, Larry, Plankton, I'm trying to remember, Pearl, everybody went there, and they were trying to be taught by Squidward. Obviously, they couldn't really do that. It's really funny at the beginning, but then Squidward quits because he realizes that he can't teach them. He feels like a failure himself that they aren't able to learn, and he quits and he says thanks for nothing in Greek. And then SpongeBob says that we failed Squidward because he was always there for us, and that was a very teary moment for me when I was a kid. It is a funny moment because he says Squidward was always there for himself instead of saying for us. So that's funny, but it's also very teary because it says that he was also a good friend, but in a very SpongeBob-like funny manner. And they tell him that to SpongeBob, Squidward has left. They tell him we will try to make him proud tomorrow, and we will win over Squilliam for all the bet that has been done. And they go to the concert and they surprise him because he didn't expect to see anybody turning there, but he saw all his friends, and they tell him, we came here to support you today. And they were like, he was like, that's the day I'm dead. And um, um, the concert happened. It was a real event. Obviously now I'm spoiling all the episode, but the event was in real life with real people, like humans, in a, like football type of like arena. They went there, and Squidward was very panicking pretty much because he knew like his people didn't know how to play music, and how are they gonna play music. And he said 1, 2, 3, 4, and he was ready. And then he heard them playing the intro of the Sweet Victory song that we listened to this gameplay when we ended the Cassandra like boss battle and the game ended. Sweet Victory. The singer is SpongeBob, and Squidward was bamboozled that he could hear SpongeBob singing so well, and all his ex-students were like apprentices pretty much, were singing so beautifully the music. They couldn't believe He couldn't believe that, and that's how the episode ends. He has won. He sings like it's a sweet, sweet victory, and there is like I don't know how to describe it, like fireworks and stuff and smoke, and his enemies, Squilliam, actually is taken to the ICU in the hospital because he is bamboozled that his enemy that he thought was a loser was actually a very successful artist, and like the entire Bikini Bottom was there that day for him. So yeah, that's how it ends. And when I was seeing that, I was crying, and now I'm trying actually to speak normally without crying because that episode means a lot to me. Because he was telling me, my father, that that's when you say like, death, where's your victory? And when all your enemies are not expected to eat with your God, but they are expected to see you eating with God. And it's like this video I had showed you many months ago. It said God kept your enemies alive not to eat with you, but see you eating with the Lord, because this is one of the psalms in the Bible. He will put you to eat in the presence of your enemies, and when your enemies conspire against you, he will put them all in the grave that they are digging for you. And he was telling me that Squilliam thinks, and he has to do with school, he thinks that you lost, that you aren't enough, that you won't be a good artist, but everybody knew Squidward, who's your favorite character, for his art, and everybody helped him that day. SpongeBob and his friends were there for him, and they sang for him in the entire crowd, and everybody cheered the music, and they said that this is a nice music. And he said, I know that you like rock music, and that's why I chose this music. Yeah, maybe if you say like, yeah, that's the episode though, yeah, but he could choose anything else that could have another music, but he had rock. And he said, because you like rock, and that's how Squidward ended, and that's a good episode because it has a happy ending. And usually you don't have like episodes who have a happy ending. Usually they have a funny ending, not specifically happy. That's one of the rare occasions that they have a happy ending that I like, to be fair, because I have seen many creators have a different perspective what is a happy ending. For some of them, for some reason, is killing a character happy ending. Not for me, not my cup of tea. That was a good ending. Like the good one is rewarded, the bad one is punished. Because I think we are in an age where we are glorifying sin. I believe we are in an age where bad is rewarded and good is vilified, because I can't really imagine that we are in an era where you can kill off your characters in a book, in a story, in a movie, and say that's life, that's how I had to do it because this is life, this is the normal. No, it's not normal. You normalize it with your art. You say it is normal. Nobody said it is, but you pretend that it is, and that's horrible, isn't it? So what I was trying to say is that this episode is very important to me, and yes, this is one of the happiest moments I have with my dad. I said about the triangle before, but now I was given the opportunity to say this one as well. And yep, so that was my story time with the band jigs, and that had to do with the university. He had said this is what I'm gonna do with the university, and I don't know what exactly he means, but I just thought of sharing it because he said share a story that you have with me. I heard the song. I believe it was his nudge saying like, yeah, say it, say our story together. And that was one of the best, like most tender, funny, teary moments I have with my dad. And yeah, I wanted to share.
That's much better. I guess I have to thank you now, huh?
I'm just glad I could help one of my best friends in the whole world.
If the world is so wide, I'm sure you can pick a new friend.
I have to.
Woo! A gold doubloon!
Don't you have to be annoying somewhere else?
That's so funny. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you liked my story time. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.